20 years, 2 decades, 240 months of pure, unadulterated sunshine in a glass. We're not just celebrating a beer today, folks. We're celebrating a legend, a pioneer, the equivalent of that one true friend who always remembers your birthday and always brings the good snacks. I'm talking, of course, about Hooky Gold, first brewed in 2006. You remember 2006? Pluto was still a planet, everyone was wearing low-rise jeans, and the iPhone was still a year away from being in existence. Back then, if you weren't aggressively tapping a message into a BlackBerry, were you even living? And while the world was staring at those tiny screens, wondering what this new thing called Twitter was, we here in the brew house were busy creating a masterpiece. Still got the moves.
Hello Rob, I see you've dressed up for the occasion. Is that hat health and safety approved?
It's an anniversary accessory, James. Aerodynamic. Speaking of which, Hooky Gold, 20 years. Did you realise 20 years ago, in 2006, when we first brewed this, that you'd be brewing a beer that outlasted my hair?
Probably not at the time, but I think it's done quite well. But you've aged well. It's the gold.
Thank you very much. And didn't we knock it out of the park at 4.1% of golden refreshing ale?
We did, and we thought, what's a golden refreshing ale? But we just wanted to do something. And first brew made without any coloured malt in, which is an unusual step for us. So quite brave on that count. But as we know, Maris Otter is the secret to a large part of our success. And the first recipe we did before we had the pilot plant, out it came, and it stayed the same for 20 years.
And we went all the way to the States for the aroma hops. Well met, James.
We did, actually. Well met, Willamette.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, a lovely hop, yes. Yeah, a lovely hop.
I've been doing some maths, James. And if we lined up every single bottle of gold that we've sold in the last 20 years, I figure we'd probably cause a traffic obstruction.
Probably.
But seriously, it's a standard bearer. It's won more awards than a Meryl Streep biopic. Why do you think it's lasted?
So I think it's the Moorishness. As you know, we're always trying to make beers that are drinkable. My grandfather used to say a bird never flew on one wing, so you always need to have the other one. So it's getting that drinkability there. I also think it's a beer for every occasion. It's a beer for your dinner. It's a beer with a barbecue. It's the beer in the sunshine. It's the beer when it's perhaps raining. It's just such a multi-purpose, lovely, really accessible beer. And a beer maybe when you finish mowing the lawn and your legs are numb.
How big's your lawn?
I have a brewery, we have fields. I also have a very small mower.
Fair point. So it's a modern classic, like Shelby getting hold of an AC Ace and turning it into a Cobra. Like Porsche making a Porsche?
Let's stick to modern classic, shall we?
We were using American hops before it was cool to wear a flannel shirt, a beanie, grow a great big bushy beard and call yourself a hophead. So what's the secret, James? Is it the water, the Victorian engineering, or is it your beautiful 5th generation lock of hair?
I'd like to think it's a combination of those, and of course the teamwork and the people here. I think it was definitely the first beer we used. We didn't use any coloured malts. It's 100% Maris Otter, and we're probably slightly better known for our darker, more traditional bitter beer. So to do a very pale beer with aiming for a colour of sort of 12 to 14 was a bit different, but we're confident in the Otter. And then we stuck with our Fuggles and Goldings in the beginning of the boil, just because we love Fuggles and Goldings.
Great hops.
And then using a different hop and a lot more of it in the hop back. So I'm not getting that full boil, but hopefully getting the aroma. And obviously the Willamette hop is related to the Fuggle. And back then we didn't have the pilot brewery, so it was a bit of let's give it a go and see where we are.
And didn't it go?
It absolutely did. And a bit nervous with a lighter coloured beer, very different for us. But it's interesting, and as you and I have been in the pubs talking the beer up as it's coming back for its 20 years, there's just, you see so much love and excitement in people's eyes. And in these uncertain times, you need some reassurance. You need something to steady the ship. And what could be better than a pint of Hooky Gold in a nice pub garden? And view the American hops in the recipe as good American hops.
For the 20th anniversary, we're asking fans to share their Hooky Gold memories. My favourite was at the 2012 Cotswold show, where I had one, felt like a king, and then tried to outrun a sheep. But unfortunately, I lost because, well, sheep have better cornering.
But good effort.
Yeah,
Good
I
effort.
suppose.
Well, hopefully mine is the memory I'm about to make right now.
Cheers. Beautiful. Look at that colour. It's like an eternal sunset.
Happy 20th, Hooky Gold.
And here's to 20 more. Does this mean I can get some discount on Hooky Gold merch?
Probably not, but you can keep the hat.
Yeah.
I think it sort of suits you and your brewing style.
There.
In a good way.
Hooky Gold, 20 years of brilliance. Get some down here. There you are. To find out more, visit hookygold.com.